got an understanding.
We're on a mission from God.
Because, remember, no matter where you go, there you are.
They shouldn't have given you ashy blokes YouTube.
Cursed be the ground, for our sake. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are. And to the dust we shall return.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
All right, you dusty denizens back in the house. A little bit of different format, AMA for Friday, and maybe, time permitting, we'll get into a little open panel. And we'll see how it goes. So, Captain Obvious batting first, okay? Got to get on the base, okay? Got to get on base. Prince batting second, move that runner along. Basic Adric batting third. Towel batting cleanup. What's going on? The first three brothers cheated. I heard that. Roddy says, hey, you think the rise of Africa in the year 2100 will flip the... Yes, it will. Yeah, yes, it will. I think black people are already starting to get out of that lower tier. So by the time it happens, it'll flip. Looks like China read the EU right. That right at Ghana gave Modi his vaults. Okay, we in it now. Yep. Second question: if we are to flip the caste system, from your point of view, what would be the 3 phases of the flipping the caste system? I already told you. I spelled it out. Okay. I already spelled it out. You're already in phase 1. Okay. You have to get resources. We already have resources. You need technology and education. Okay. That's the first part. You need demographics. And then you're gonna need weapons. I already spelled out the phases, things that you need to actually flip the caste system. Okay. The caste system will flip by itself once you acquire power. You require power, resources, and money. It will flip the caste system on its own. Okay. It's called social dominance theory. What's up, Snowman? Bad in 6. Okay. Ensign Media, what's happening? Ricky, what's going on? Turtle Bitcoin, what's up? Matt Brennan, what's happening? Craig, the tech guy. The caste system's already started to flip. Down in Brazil, they went from being so-called 80% white to over 50% black. Since the rise of the BRICS, the rise of Africa, they started identifying with people of color, or black people. James, happy 4th. I heard that. Prime Maine, what's going on? Hard bottom shoes, what's going on? Shannon Green, good evening. What does the significance of the 4th of July mean to you, knowing all the knowledge that you are aware of? I mean, if you're an American, basically, it's the founding of your country. So, the 4th, yeah. Independence Day, I mean, it's a holiday. Okay, it's what we grew up on. So, if you're an American, it basically, yeah, you could be someplace else. Okay, you really could. America is, no country has its is innocent. Okay, all countries are built in blood. I don't care which country you're talking about. All countries are built in blood, and I don't say we have to get over it, but the things we have to understand it and put it in its place and move forward. I don't. It's okay knowing where you came from. It's okay knowing um, what's happened to you. But the thing is, you cannot be a perpetual victim. What's up, Ray? Juneteenth will always be my day of emancipation, but regardless, for good Fourth to fellow Dusty Templars. Okay, if you're an American, Fourth means something. Yo, what's up, Kyle? Palm Beach, what's going on? B-Row. Greg, the tech guy. Trump is signing the big, beautiful bill. Okay. Yeah, the 4th of July really has. I mean, it it's it has more to do with white folks versus their colonial betters, and less to do with us. Because if if there hadn't been for the 4th of July, England would have kept us enslaved just like everybody else. Okay, because you're making money. Trump is signing the big beautiful bill. The thing is, Trump is not the problem. Okay, it's the Congress. Okay, why is Congress signing the big beautiful bill? Okay, and what's really in it? Because I hear people talk about it, but what is really in it is going to cause problems. What up, Master Teacher? I know you don't care about Diddy, but is the perceived victory a win for civil liberties? I think it's more of a warning to him. Okay, the biggest thing that happened to Diddy, I think the reason they put him through the trial is them raiding his houses and taking all of his archives, so he can't blackmail people anymore. So what people at that level do with their puppets, I really don't particularly care one way or the other. I'm not invested in Diddy. Diddy knows what the hell he did, just like I wasn't invested in Epstein. Can old Snowman be the first pick available in the Snow Bunny draft? Well, if you were a Snow Bunny, maybe, but you're not a Snow Bunny. What's up, Barry? Gabar? GD, what's up? Did you see the Isobako podcast about what it will take for black men? No, I did not. I do not. I don't visit his page regularly, so I wouldn't know. Did he record it? If so, GD, shoot me a link. We might look at it. I don't know. Do you have a wrench, GD? Shannon Green, what's up? Greg, the tech guy, what's up? James, budget bill. The thing is, it takes a while to know exactly what's in a budget bill. You can't know what's in a budget bill, how it's going to affect you until at least a year or two down the road. Okay. The thing is, what's in the budget bill, how they're going to enact it, and what are the ramifications. You can't know that, especially when this big of a bill comes out. What's up, Charles? Are you no more bad candy for Mongo? Black men are scared. Black men scared of power to rise and defeat other races? I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay. If somebody can ask Iraq, ask the motherfuckers in the Middle East, ask the people in China before the rise of China, were they scared? Okay. All this brave talk, GDU in the freaking Europe right now. Okay. Ask the Germans and the French, are they scared of the Russians? Stop with all that. All this brave talk. Where you guys get all this brave talk? Okay, y'all ain't nobody willing to go out there and put on a flak jacket and a helmet and go fight nobody. Okay, stop. All these people, all these brave people, they haven't picked up a gun yet. I don't want to hear it. Any professor embraces Yang Hu in prediction of the U.S.-Iran conflict before it happened? That basically it's I don't have any thoughts on it, but basically anybody could have told you, man. Stevie Wonder could have told you that. It's just a matter of time. I knew that. I knew that 3 years ago. I didn't think they were dumb enough to try it, though. I didn't think they were dumb enough to try it. Charles, I said, I'm going to say this: the first person to fight and kill and die for his country was the black man. So in this country, this is my country. So what to anybody else who objected that? That's on you. Read a book. Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter. Okay. What do you want? I don't care, because you're not, for the most part, you're not going to rule this country. Okay. You're not. So if you're looking to be in charge, you got to go someplace else. I am pragmatic. That they're scared of other races. Everybody's afraid of everybody. Okay. I want to hear that bullshit. Okay. They got good reasons. Okay. The black folks ain't scared, because black folks would not have rioted and pushed through civil rights if we were scared. Okay. Got to be pragmatic. Ask the Mau Mau down in Kenya. Ask the folks down in South Africa. Okay. Were they scared? No, they're not scared. We had 300 rebellions in the United States, slave rebellions. Okay. Ask the Haitians. Okay. The Haitian revolutionaries, were they scared? Come on, man. Stop that stuff. People are complaining about the decreased number of people who will be covered by Medicare. People are concerned about the increased deficit. Okay. Number one, okay, we have to go back to pre-Barack Obama, the mortgage crisis. Okay. A lot of people on Social Security and Medicare were not supposed to be on it. That's number one. Okay. So basically we have to look at the numbers. Number two, I told you there's only one way to decrease the budget is through Medicare. I told you they were coming after Medicare. Me and Salty told you to come after Medicare 2 years before they actually did. Okay. Will you be doing a Patreon appearance this weekend? Yes, I will. Rude Boys, I'm back. Let's party. Okay. I don't even know who you are. Peace to the brothers. Okay. Roddy, do you think Africa will go to war with China to gain control? No, they won't. China doesn't go to war. Okay. They're not going to, there's no need for a war. Basically, the Chinese already know the roadmap. Okay. That's why they're buying in early. And Chinese are not going to send their men to fight in sub-Saharan Africa. It's not going to happen, right? Because they can't even live there. Same thing with the white folks. Yeah, phony, tough, and crazy. Yeah. And white co-workers, it's because of power. Okay. Because of power. Has nothing to do with a race. Okay. Say hi, family. 4th of July, Independence Day. What's going on? There's our spook that sits by the door. What's going on? Are they going to give you a day off today, MS? Or are they still calling you? Right before I joined the chess chat, we watched Pop and Olivia Pope scene in the hangar. It will still be a classic scene 50 years from now. Yep. Christmas Addicts. Baker Seju. Is that man disguised? Get rid of her? I have no idea. Any thoughts of Scope 4 Inspired? I believe there are a lot more. Man, that's old news, man. That's old news. Go back and look at the movie Manchurian Candidate, man, back in the 1960s. That's old news, man. We got spies, they got spies, okay? I bring gifts to the evangelist evil twin. Also for the pedestrians, China and Russia manufacturing is 10 times more, 10 times faster, 10 times cheaper, and 10 times more efficient. Yes, it is. What's good, everybody? Happy Freedom Day. I heard that. Salute. What's going on? I'm listening. Have you seen Candace Owens versus Princella? No, I have not. The U.S. has still never fully recovered from 2008. No, the whole world has never fully recovered from 2008. It's not just them. Mr. BTS was right again. I want to get that for MS Delta, right? The from I forget what it's called, right? When the Chris Rock was saying, it be calling me, it be calling me. You and Dr. Marifa, y'all never get a day off, man. But the thing is Dr. Marifa says, pesa ni pesa, money is money, right? Wolf of Sheep quote, you were right about Trump using the LA riots to do what he really wants. And with this 14th Amendment ruling by the Supreme Court, he's about to ramp it up. Okay, the thing is, and this has been an issue. I mean, I'm sick of it. I'm actually I probably will do a something about this on my Master Teacher's Response page. Okay, that's more about politics, right? Okay. They want to fucking get rid of the anchor babies. There's a big industry in anchor babies where you can fly in, drop a baby, and that baby becomes a citizen. That's what they're trying to get rid of. Now, will there be side effects and blowback that could happen because you're trying to change something? Yes, but the thing is, that's the reason they're doing it. And all this other shit that you see flying by doesn't mean shit. They told you why they're trying to get rid. They're trying to change birthright citizenship. Okay. Now, whether the Supreme Court agrees with them or not, it remains to be seen. I'm at the cookout today. Oh, okay. Are you in town or did you fly out? Peace and BJs in chat. Do you have Inside China Business already loaded up for the pedestrian questions? No, I don't. Heard that Sir Isaac Newton, the Apple gravity guy, was also a Christian Zionist long before the phrase was used. I don't know what that means. You got to rephrase that question. I have no idea what that is. Tunnel runner down there getting his pockets rammed by his Colombian wife, as they say. Strength of having better engineers. Partially. There's a whole things. I actually said it. I've talked about it many times, GD. I'm not gonna go over it again. Okay. Talked about it many times. And that reparations plan will, unless it's probably a little too late to do it. It probably would have worked. Even when they first brought it up in 2018, okay, that would have worked. But thing is, now after the Ukraine crisis and then after the Iran shit, man, it probably won't work anymore. Trump had to call Candace Owens about slagging President Macron's wife. Yeah. Sometimes you have to. He had to call her off, okay, because of social media. Do you believe that black people, particularly black men, are victims of Stockholm syndrome by their black? Yes, they are. Exactly. Yep, they are. All right. They are a victim of Stockholm syndrome. Okay. Because there is a lot of people on Medicare, Social Security, SNAP, and housing programs that should not be. A lot of people been gaming. Exactly. There is that. Okay. There is that. Okay. Your biggest two MS Delta, because he deals with this shit, he can tell you the two biggest cost centers on the budget, okay, that they cannot move is Medicare in Social Security, right? Okay, and the thing is, if you want to clean up the budget, you're gonna have to clean that up. Okay, Barack Obama, even Trump, even Biden put a lot of people on Medicare and Social Security because they couldn't find jobs for them. Okay, they weren't eligible or qualified to get on, but they changed, they altered the rules to put these people on it. I know I got family members that they're on Social Security that should not be, or on Medicare that shouldn't be. The thing is, how do you solve for that? Or at least if you're going to do it, how do you make it more affordable? But the thing is, to make it more affordable, it's going to cost you some jobs. So all you nurses and medical techs and medical billing people, okay, y'all getting ready to get hit. I'm getting ready to get hit. If I'm a nurse, you better start learning AI and learn how to use a computer. I said, much love from the Netherlands. Appreciate you, GD. The thing is, I've already explained. You know, the thing is, okay. I've explained it. If you really want an explanation, you're going to have to join the Patreon, okay? Because I don't want to do this in open air too much, okay? Every time I do it in open air, I always get hit. So I don't talk about my reparations plan on open air. So you're going to have to join my Patreon. I'll be on Sunday. If you want to ask that question, I'll answer it. But I cannot answer it in this bigger form. Because YouTube will get mad and the powers that be will get mad. Even though it probably won't work as well. It should have been done when Colin Powell said it should have been done back in 2000, 2003, okay, about reparations. But it can't be done now. I mean, it can be, but it's not going to work as well. Because of you, I've been watching clips of Andor. Here's the question. Could a Luthen route ever exist? He does exist. There are people that do that. That's what he called your shadow government. Okay, there's people that are in the cut that do trigger things. Okay, we do it to other people. Okay, with color revolution, there's Luthens all over the planet. Why hasn't Trump trying to get Europeans and white South Africans to come here? Yeah, but that's different. Okay. In fact, let me find it. Okay, because actually they did. I don't want to play this. I mean, okay. What I get upset about you Negroes, y'all ask me questions, right? The answers, if I can find the answers, you can too. Okay. They did a whole 2-hour congressional panel on birthright citizenship. Okay, whole 2 hours. Okay, all the arguments that they make that you want to hear, they reiterated those things like 50 different times. Okay, they want to control immigration. Okay, the Congress should have been done this. If Congress wants to solidify that, they can. The thing is that people are gaming the system. It's a loophole. Okay. So Tyler Perry said, "Fuck y'all haters." Came out with season 2 for his new show. Well, basically, Ray, guess what? We're not his market. He don't care about us. We're not his market. Okay, just like Panda Bear, was it DeAndre Kyle, right? Okay, we're not his market. He don't care about us. Women pay him. Who is Rude Boy anyway? BGS, they just trying to save the patient. IUSA at this point. The phrase collateral damage has been whispered. You know what? You know, you gotta respect the expert, man. But a lot of people get mad when I call them pedestrians and civilians. Okay, they get mad because they don't understand how things work. Okay, because they're a lot of guys think that could be red pill. They're actually closer to blue pill because they believe this shit. Okay. Tyler is He's probably black because he doesn't care. At that level of being a billionaire and being in the entertainment industry and being doing the dirty stuff that you got to do behind the scenes, he's probably black pill. I called you. You called me a pedestrian. I had to go get my learner's permit. Yeah. There's no 90% of people are pedestrians. Okay. So even Kristen Kerrison had to wake up. She said, I stopped having to go to CNN and CNBC and MSNBC to tell me what opinion I should have. Okay. Yeah. He has to be black pill. Okay. Same thing with Diddy. Diddy's a black pill person. Okay. That's why I don't feel sorry for him. The game is the game. Okay. Chezo Nichezo. Okay. The game is game. Okay. Good for him. It had nothing to do with us. I don't know why you guys care about what Tyler Perry does. Okay. Good for him. Tyler Perry been doing this shit for God. It's got to be for 40 years, man. It's not new. What Tyler Perry does is not new. He's been doing. He was doing that on stage way before he got to TV. It's not new. Tyler Perry actually stole his Madeira shit from a cross-dresser in Atlanta. How far are we in? See if I can find this. Let me find it because I'm getting tired of this goddamn questions about birthright citizenship. Okay, y'all go to you guys go to freaking you guys go to freaking y'all could go to C-SPAN, okay, and find hours and hours and hours of people that actually are making the laws. And Emmett Stelter can tell you about C-SPAN, okay, making the laws, telling you exactly what's going on behind the scenes. Well, not even behind the scenes, right? They tell you exactly what's going on. But y'all freaking lazy, okay? Y'all need to. I'm gonna start making y'all pay me to do your research, okay? Y'all gonna be this lazy. I'm gonna start putting all this crap on Patreon, make y'all pay for it instead of doing simple research for free. Let me go ahead and find it because I knew what they were doing. I just wanted to make sure that that the Congress was on the same page I was on, right? That it did a whole 2-hour. Did a whole 2-hour hearing. And it's not new. In fact, Pence did something 6 years ago. It's just not new, okay? See if I can find him. Scroll through so I can find it. It depends. It depends on the curriculum, okay? Like everything depends on the curriculum. What do you want to learn, and why do you want to go to school? Okay, you want to go to. It depends on what you want to learn. Okay, so there's no one answer for it. Going to school doesn't make a sense unless you can go to school here and learn the same shit. Okay, the thing is, what do you want to learn? What is it going to cost, and where can you do it? If you want to be a doctor, like I was going to take my daughter to Cuba to become a doctor because it was cheaper. It's free or near free. It was cheaper. Instead of paying $300,000 to send her to school to be a doctor, go do it in Cuba in 6 years rather than doing it in 12 or 13 in the United States and spending $300,000. Okay. Nobody watches C-SPAN because it's not exciting. Yep. That's where all the answers really are. If you really want to know anything going on in Washington, D.C. that means anything, it's going to be on C-SPAN. Okay. Why do black women always give me and my Dutch wife the evil eye? What's the reason for this? Can you unpack it? All right, GD. We need a few more dollars, GD, if we want this kind of consultation. Okay. It depends on where you are. Okay. If the reason they do is because they say because they own you. Okay. They think that they own you. You have no right to be with a woman of any other color other than them. It's because they think they have it so hard that black men are exclusively theirs. Okay, so they have the right to either refuse, accept, or refuse you, and you're supposed to stay in that pocket. Okay, that's what the Snow Bunny draft is. Okay, they think that you belong to them, and a lot of this sentiment that's in America got transferred through social media to other black women around the planet. So they think that black men exclusively belong to them. You're not. They can date out, but you can't. Hello, Mr. BGS. Anyone interested in doing their own research? Type Reddit thing. Anna, just trying to help. I have no idea what that is. Well, because they're at the bottom of the totem pole. Okay. So let me go ahead and share this and boot this up so we can answer this because I'm getting tired of goddamn questioning. I mean, people can find out.
Here on C-SPAN 3. In the meantime, we bring you a live simulcast of our Washington Journal call-in program.
Hundreds of thousands of lawsuits.
Number of people
Okay,
who, according to all the law.
That's Supreme Court. That's not the one. I want the panel. Okay, I want the congressional panel. Hearing. R-I-N-G. You give me the wrong one. Let's see if we can find it. Supreme Court. Let's see if I can find it. Because I found it on C-SPAN. But it was on YouTube. It's a full House hearing. Let's see if we can find it. I think this is it.
Which include giving citizenship to all enslaved Americans, including those who would what those three classes, which should stay, and thus it is
subject to U.S. law. In other words, they have various forms of immunity. In there, the connection is that at that time, the 14th Amendment confers.
Money will be entered into the record in its entirety.
In the debates on the passage,
$1,000 to temporarily relocate to the United States U.S.-born children over the next 10 years, with the constitutional interpretation outlined in President Trump's executive order. The answer is clear. The jurisdiction subcommittee will come to order. Without objection, the chair is authorized to declare a recess at any time. We welcome everyone to today's hearing on birthright citizenship. I will now recognize myself for an opening statement. As Supreme Court Justice Louise Brandeis once wrote, the most important office and the one which all of us can and should.
You see, let me rephrase for GD. No black man has a right that black woman is bound to respect. Yep, exactly. They go to Thailand and complain about you. Okay, why are you dating Thai women instead of us? Would you damage black men?
Phil is that of private citizen. This hearing is on the issue foundational to our republic. Who is an American citizen by birthright? Section 1 of the 14th Amendment grants citizenship to all persons who are, quote, born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, end quote. It is the latter clause, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, that we will examine today in significant part. Our inquiry is simple. What was the original public meaning of the jurisdiction clause? The 14th Amendment was drafted to rectify the terrible decision in the 1857 Dred Scott v. Sanford case by recognizing former slaves as rightful Americans. As we'll learn from our witnesses today, the answer is clear. The jurisdiction clause, as originally understood, grants birthright citizenship only to children whose parents have full exclusive allegiance to the United States. The constitutional text and history shows that children of illegal aliens and legal aliens who are in the United States temporarily are not citizens by birthright under the 14th Amendment. For decades, proponents of automatic birthright citizenship have claimed the 14th Amendment and the Wong Kim Ark case bestows automatic citizenship to all children born to foreign nationals, including...
Now, Lo Kim Ark case in 1898, I do believe it was 1898. He was actually born in San Francisco to Chinese workers, okay? And then the United States kicked the Chinese out during the Chinese Exclusion Act. So he tried to come back into the country, and he says, they say, well, you're Chinese, you can't enter the country. He said, but I'm a citizen because I was born in San Francisco. And that's where the case comes from. So since then, it's been so-called automatic citizenship, but there's a loophole, okay? It's a legal loophole that people have been exploiting over the past, I would say, 20 years.
Illegal aliens. This is a blatant misunderstanding of both items, resulting in birthright citizenship serving as a driving force of illegal immigration to the United States, as many illegal aliens and temporary visa holders know they can reap the benefits of their child's citizenship. President Trump's first-day executive order on birthright citizenship restored the 14th Amendment to this original meaning. Despite what you may hear on the news, some of the most respected legal scholars agree with the constitutional interpretation outlined in President Trump's executive order. Some of these legal scholars include those here on this panel today. Our witnesses will dive into the history of the 14th Amendment in Congress and the Supreme Court. But I'll give you a brief version. The drafters of the 14th Amendment understood it not to grant citizenship to persons, quote, owing allegiance to any foreign sovereignty, end quote. And in the first cases decided after ratification, the Supreme Court held that jurisdiction in the 14th Amendment means not merely subject in some respect or degree to the jurisdiction of the United States, but completely subject to their political jurisdiction and owing them direct and immediate allegiance. Of course, illegal aliens and legal temporary United States residents do not owe complete, direct, and immediate allegiance to the United States. And therefore, their children are not citizens by birthright under the 14th Amendment. Now, I'm sure we'll hear a lot from our colleagues on the other side of the aisle about Supreme Court precedent as well. So let us make one thing clear at the outset. The Supreme Court has never held that children of illegal aliens or aliens who are in the United States temporarily are entitled to birthright citizenship. President Trump's executive order is consistent with Supreme Court precedent. I'd also like to emphasize the purpose of today's hearing. We're here to discuss an important constitutional question. This is, after all, the Constitution Subcommittee. And I hope that we can keep our focus on the text and history of the 14th Amendment. But no doubt some of the policy implications will come up. And it would be a disservice not to at least mention those important issues implicated by the constitutional question. In addition to twisting the Constitution and court precedent, conferring automatic citizenship is a bad policy. It devalues the meaning of American citizenship by bestowing it to the children of lawbreakers who entered the United States without the consent of its people, almost rewarding them for trespassing into our country's soil. To add context, an estimated 124,000 to 300,000 so-called anchor babies, which are children born to illegal aliens, are born each year according to
That is the problem. That's the loophole they're trying to cut, okay? What he just said. They've told you why they're trying to change it, okay? And all this other bullshit and hoo-ha is irrelevant. It's been a problem for the past 25 years about anchor babies, okay? It's not new. That's why I call you guys pedestrians. Oh, what about it? What about it? Y'all could have looked this shit up yourself.
the Center for Immigration Studies. In 2023, up to 250,000 children were born to illegal aliens.
And sure, it is most likely it's not going to be retroactive. It can't be, okay? They can't retroactively do it, okay? They've already been granted citizenship, okay? They can't do it.
In 2023, which accounted for 7% of total births in the nation that year. Moreover, it further strains government programs that are already strained. For example, in terms of supplemental nutrition assistance, SNAP, which provides school meals, Americans shell out $5 billion each year in SNAP and food stamps for the U.S.-born children of illegal aliens, according to a 2023 report by the Federation for American Immigration Reform. If one looks at the amount illegal aliens and their U.S.-born children are projected to consume in federal welfare program benefits, the American taxpayer foots an even larger bill. Take, for example, the July 2024 report, the Congressional Budget Office that answers to us concluded that the federal government is projected to spend $177 billion in welfare benefits to illegal aliens and their U.S.-born children over the next 10 years. Now, mindful, that is a larger population, but it is clear that the birthright citizenship issue implicates those issues. This $177 billion includes Medicaid, SSI, Obamacare premium tax credits, food stamps, and more. Ending universal birthright citizenship and thereby ending birth tourism, a practice in which pregnant women travel to the United States to give birth and secure citizenship for their children, is good policy. Birth tourism diverts U.S. medical resources away from our own mothers and babies and allows shady and unscrupulous birth tourism agencies, quote unquote, to prey.
A lot of black people don't speak the legalese version of English. That's why they don't watch C-SPAN. Like anything else, if you watch it like Sesame Street, if you watch it long enough, you start to understand it. Okay, they don't have patience. Mr. BGS, it's a place for those looking to research material like papers and the like. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Appreciate you.
Unexpected mothers. According to a 2020 study, there are between 20,000 and 26,000 foreign tourists in the U.S. giving birth on our soil annually. As far back as 2008, the CEO of the McAllen, Texas Medical Center, where about 40% of births were to illegal alien mothers, stated that, quote, mothers about to give birth walk up to the hospital, clearly having just swum across the river in actual labor. Just as concerningly, adversaries like China are abusing universal birthright citizenship and practicing birth tourism to nestle deeper into U.S. society, which carries security concerns. In 2018, Georgetown Law's O'Neill Institute wrote the following, quote, women from foreign countries, mainly China and Russia, are paying tens of thousands of dollars to temporarily relocate to the United States during their pregnancy in order to give birth in the United States and thereby guarantee U.S. citizenship for their child. To shed light on the magnitude of this abuse, China hosts over 500 companies offering birth tourism services, resulting in more than 50,000 Chinese nationals delivering babies in the United States every year, according to a 2019 estimate. The Constitution does not require us to allow this practice, and we should not. Even late Senate Democrat Majority Leader Harry Reid recognized the disastrous policy implications of birthright citizenship as he opposed automatic citizenship for children born to foreigners. He said the following in a 1993 speech on the Senate floor, quote, if making it easy to be an illegal alien isn't enough, how about offering a reward for being an illegal immigrant? No sane country would do that, right? End quote. He continued, guess again, if you break our laws by entering this country without permission and give birth to a child, we reward that child with U.S. citizenship and guarantee a full access to all public and social services this society provides. And that's a lot of services. That is Harry Reid, the former Democrat leader in the United States Senate. Senator Reid was right in his observation. No sane country would enable a foolish policy like automatic citizenship to children born to foreigners, especially illegal aliens. Congress should heed his warning. Put simply, the framers of the 14th Amendment did not intend for universal citizenship to children born to all classes of foreigners. Nor did the judges in Wong Kim Ark case rule on the question of citizenship beyond the children of lawful permanent residents, including those born to illegal aliens and temporary visitors. And there's one more point I'd like to make in closing. Congress is where the debate over birthright citizenship should be happening. In fact, my friend from Texas, Representative Brian Babin, has legislation, the Birthright Citizenship Act, that would fix this policy gap and restore the practice of granting U.S. citizenship as intended in the 14th Amendment. Section 8 of Article 1 and Section 5 of the 14th Amendment grant us power over questions of citizenship. President Trump's executive order rightly returns that power to us. And in doing so, it returns us to the reasonable common sense interpretation of the 14th Amendment when it was ratified in 1868. I now recognize the ranking member, Ms. Scanlon, for her opening statement.
Mr. Chairman, since this is our first hearing of the new Congress, I'd like to say that I am anticipating we will continue to have a vigorous exchange of ideas.
But that in a sense is why they're doing it. Okay, get it? Got it. He did it. He summarized it fairly well. Okay, within like what 10 minutes, you could have known exactly why they were doing what they're doing. Okay. C-SPAN has been underutilized by the American public like the History Channel has been before they started to televise reality shows based on pawn shops. Yep. Report Maria and Maria if they want them. I have a passport. I'm not. Well, the thing is, it's one thing to agree or disagree with whatever they're trying to do. Okay, I have no problem with that. But the thing is, he basically he said it plainly enough what it was, where it came from, what they're arguing over, and why they're trying to get rid of the problem. Okay, why they're trying to close a loophole. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's that hard. Okay, maybe I'm fucked up. Maybe I'm an elitist and I'm in my own bubble, and what makes sense to me doesn't make sense to you. But the thing is, I thought it was pretty clear. I thought it was pretty clear. I don't know. Did you guys understand what he just said? I mean, I don't think we need to go through over the 2-hour panel when he pretty much summarized the argument. Because I'm getting all this other crap that's going on, blah blah blah. Where they're trying to ship black folks to to Africa. They try to take away their citizenship, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to deport black people, and they're gonna take black people's citizenship away and keep all the white folks and all the other kind of all the hoo-ha, right? Okay. Let's think rationally. If Maria's sexy, okay, she can have citizenship. We can have a few exceptions. No, we keep Maria in her own country, and you fly down there, right? I don't know what. Okay, it seems okay. How so? In fact, you know what? Since it's going to be open anyway, come up and explain it, because you guys make claims. Okay, you guys keep making claims about shit that's going to happen, and you can, unless you guys are lawmakers, you guys have boutique knowledge of how this is going to affect HCBUs. Okay, HBCUs. Please tell me, okay? Because I have no idea. You guys are so smart, okay? You know, the thing is, we take our cues from black women, and black women have these emotional arguments, and we pick up the same shit, same emotional arguments, okay? That make no sense. That make absolutely no sense. I mean, how that's why I call other people civilians, man, and not lazy motherfucking civilians, right? Okay. Now that was in May when they did this one. It's like maybe like almost 2 months ago. And our so-called experts that argue back and forth about this bullshit, they never referred. Do they ever come on and show you this shit?
Nope.
Do they ever show you the actual arguments? I mean, I can show you hours and hours and hours of this shit, right? And I just did this a couple days ago. Okay.
No, I can tell you what they do, BGS, and I wish I was joking. They use Chat GPT to make their argument.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Oh no. Go look at the Mississippi Spinster's last stream. I am not kidding.
I mean, I showed you the search, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I showed you the search, exactly what to search for, right? Okay. A congressional hearing on what? On birthright citizenship, right? Okay.
Right.
I pulled it right up. He explained it was what, 10 minutes?
Yep.
Okay, that's his argument. Okay. Now, he said nothing about kicking black folks out, all right? It's a very small part of the clause.
So that's a bunch of butthurt blues that are trying to scare everybody.
Yeah. And basically a part of that clause, which would be overturning the Supreme Court ruling of automatic citizenship from 1898, is going to take another ruling. They haven't even started looking at it yet. Now, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. Okay. The Supreme Court has turned them down before, so I don't know. So I don't know where they get their information from. Say black people stop being emotional and lying. Read the actual bill. The thing is,
exactly.
You know, like the big beautiful bill. Okay, MS Delta. I don't know if he's an expert because I really don't know what he does. I really don't want to know what he does personally, because that'll get us both in trouble.
Yeah,
will tell you. Okay, okay. When they write legislation, there's a whole bunch of side effects that can happen that's unexpected. They don't know what's going to happen when they put this shit out. If they don't know, you don't know. Because only the people that look at that portion of the bill that are in those industries can anticipate what may or may not happen. Okay, we don't know. I have no clue. Okay, I hear economists and all these other kind of people talking about the bill and raising the deficit. Even Republicans inside the Beltway. Okay,
that's how the sausage is made.
That's how sausage is made. But the thing is, they're anticipating, okay, what the side effects of any law might have. Right? You can't do that, especially something this big. Okay, especially something this big.
Hey, BGS.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my wife fed me so much, we both fell asleep.
Did you tell your wife about the itis, man? Black folks got the itis.
And she got it too. She must be hanging around me too much.
You know why you can't feed white black folks too much? Because they get the itis, man. They fall asleep right then and there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the chair and she's on the couch.
Oh man,
just waking up.
That's some good eating right there.
Yeah, when I walked in the door, she had a plate full of food for me.
Mm.
I mean, I don't care about the uninformed being exploited. I really don't care. The thing is, why bring that shit to me? Okay. I mean, people have been asking me about the birthright citizenship for a month. Okay, for a month. BGS. What about the birthright citizenship? Motherfucker, you could have looked it up just like I did. Yeah, you guys scroll through your phones for hours. You could have punched in congressional panel on birthright citizenship. It popped right up. You got to answer all your questions down to the scintilla. Okay. Hold on.
The fireworks already started in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, it is what it is.
We
It
got
ain't even
some
dark
doctors-
out.
I don't know why they can bug me when I'm online. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. You can't even see them. It's still light out. You can't even see them.
Huh? So what?
The fireworks have already started.
No. I'm on the West Coast, boss.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but it's still bright out. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say BGS. It's so, I mean, they walking around with these cell phones.
Yeah.
They can, all they got to do, like I say, you got Chat GPT, you got all these sources, and they still walk around with stuff that's obviously, like they walking around with the most educated Black women. And then you say, all you got to do is ask GPS who has the most doctorate degrees, who has the most bachelors, and it'll tell you right away. It gives you these
Asians,
and so all you gotta do is ask questions. They're like, oh well, white women don't settle, and you look at white women, look at these $1 million guys with their wives.
They know that.
They're not no Denzels. They're regular guys, and sometimes worse than regular.
They're okay. You got to remember. You understand, man. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. They don't lie to the white boys. They lie to you. Because y'all Negroes believe them.
What's going on, Mookie?
Because you Negroes, you guys complain about it and talk about it, even though it's been disproven like 1 million times. Okay, why do you even listen? Okay, in fact, somebody sent me something today. Okay, let me see if I can play it. Okay. About degrees, okay? And Mookie can tell you about this because he's in the industry, right? About degrees, okay? Useless degrees. May's doing this. A war on migrants funded by Now. Oh, good Lord. Anyway.
And when it comes down to it, it's all about the money. And so, if you're getting these degrees and you ain't making no money, I mean, it's
pointless.
Yeah. I mean, it's it might be, hopefully you educate your children, but if you're good at education and you're not having your kids in the highest percentages of class, then it's a big.
The thing is, okay, college only is good when your society supports those things, right? Okay, like I said, when less than 10% of people had a 4-year degree, okay, guess what? You get any college degree, right? Okay, puts you in the top 10%. Okay, when it gets to like 40, 50, 60%, guess what's going to happen? It's like going to high school. Okay,
watered down.
Yeah, and then as they deindustrialize, guess what? It's going to get watered down even more. If coders and engineers have problems finding jobs, guess what's going to happen to you? Okay, they're talking about MD people with MD degrees can't find jobs. Okay, let me speed it up just a tad. So all these broads talk about they're the most educated, all kinds of stuff. Even if they are the most educated, say they are. Granted, okay, what does that mean? Okay, in this day and time.
I'll let the most educated get spelled. Oh, let me shut up.
Oh Lord, this is just beside the point. At least you know they can read and they possibly can read and write, right?
I know chicks with master's degrees that can't spell, man. That's what I'm just saying.
Gosh, man, the Gen Z education, man, is horrible. Okay, it's horrible. Anyway,
degrees that they get, and I can totally relate, and I'll share about that in a second.
Never thought I would be the person to think this way, but I honestly
and these are white people. These are not black women. These are white women.
believe that in 2025 and on, college is a scam. I don't believe, unless you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, or something like that, that you should need to go to college. I feel like it is basically just a status symbol for most parents to say like their kid is going to like a prestigious college or college in general. It's overpriced. Like 75% of students don't work in the field that they got their degree in. I also feel like many of the professors have a very outdated mentality, and that's how they teach. I also feel like working in a trade such as like plumbing, electrician, contract work, contractors, people who have like a skill or a trade, they don't need to go to college. Like you can learn how to do that on your own. I also feel like the tuition is out of control. It's like average college is $50,000 a year. And then you're left with most people an astronomical amount of student debt that takes years and years and years and years to pay off. And most of the time you don't even get a job right out of college. And I feel like people who are my age were like indoctrinated into thinking that if we got a college degree, we got a bachelor's degree, we would be set for life. That is so not true. And now I'm thinking like for my daughter, unless she wants to be like a doctor or a lawyer, she doesn't need to go to college. It's not a prerequisite for her. And another thing, I think the whole college structure is like how I said it was status. It's also been like glamorized for making friends, being in sororities, meeting people, networking, moving away, going to being in a new place, becoming on your own. So you're basically like paying for the lifestyle, not the education. And it's very sad.
Tell me why I went to a fashion business school. Here's my degree. I went to a fashion business school and I cannot even get a job that makes more than $17 an hour. I work for big brands. Like I have experience working for luxury brands.
Wow.
I have multiple internships under my belt. I'm very smart. I'm very capable. And literally none of these places are hiring. Every single job, especially where I'm applying to in Manhattan, because the fashion capital of the world. I'm like, if I'm going to go anywhere, it's going to be Manhattan. I cannot get a job that pays more than like $17 an hour. Like, am I going to be poor forever? Like, I'm just like, I can't. And people are like, just keep applying. I'm like, I've been applying every single day doing hundreds of applications. I'm about to call my school up and say that this degree that I spent 4 years trying to get, 4 years, was a waste of money.
I was being nosy and listening to a couple of girls that work at during this conversation, and they were talking about how they've had all these job interviews, applied to all these jobs, can't get a job. Now they have to work at a gym. Literally everyone is in this predicament. It's so frustrating. Like everyone I talk to, they're having these interviews, sounds like it goes great, and they didn't get the job. Who are the companies hiring then? I've not heard one person say, wow, the interview went great, I got hired. Who are they hiring? Additionally, what are we doing? Serving burgers and
stop laughing, Mookie.
bartending is really, really burning me out. I'm really sick of it. Do I money launder? Is that even profitable?
I don't think people understand how fucked up it is that we just let kids rack up huge amounts of debt, going to college and getting degrees that they'll never be able to get good jobs with. I talk to kids all the time that have racked up a huge amount of debt, getting a useless degree, and they're really thinking about going on and getting an MBA that's also useless, that will rack up even more debt for them, and they've never even had a job where they've made good money at all. And nobody in the education system has ever really produced real work in the real world that they've been paid for. It's all these bureaucrats that have just been living in this educational bubble, giving terrible advice to kids that doesn't make any sense, is not translatable to making money in the real world. It's really dark that we're putting so many kids into financial slavery, not even giving them a good shot at making good money with real valuable degrees. I'm going to say it, I'm probably going to get banned, but your gender studies degree was not a good investment. And it was fucked up with the government as a kid to allow you to take out a really big...
You hear that, Kimberly Nicole Foster? We got from Harvard.
Ooh, shots fired at the feminists. Good Lord.
Got by.
Degree.
loan that you're going to be stuck paying for the next 20 years when you're not going to be able to find a job that pays you $100K for getting that degree and putting in that work. Meanwhile, I work with people all the time that have no college degree but have 6 months of sales experience working at a used car dealership.
Ooh.
And they're getting jobs making 6 figures working in tech sales. The education system is not a place for smart people. If you're a young person and you've never been around successful people, then it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the educators around you, the college professors, know what they're talking about, but they clearly don't, because they ended up as college professors.
Degree in software engineering is not what it used to be. 4 or 5 years ago, when your great aunt asked you what you were going to major in college and you said software engineering, and she replied, oh, you'll always have a job with that major. My husband helps a lot of recent college grads land roles in tech, and what he's seeing over and over again is engineering students transitioning to something like tech sales. Reason being, a lot of college programs for engineering are not as rigorous as they used to be, which means that
Wow, I can tell you.
The watered down
goodness.
educational system.
Mm-hmm.
So-
No, BG, it's been that way for a long time, because even when I went to school like 10 years ago, when I went to school for web,
yeah,
they were way behind.
yeah.
I'm talking about my first web class in college, they were teaching front page.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay.
I took one look at those templates like, oh hell no, I could do better by myself.
You can. The thing is, you go if you're gonna go for basically if you're gonna go to school to for software, you gotta learn how to code. Okay.
Yes.
C, C++, even Fortran or even some kind of Cobalt, right? Gonna have to learn how to do what? Gonna have to learn how to code.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta learn how to code. Okay.
Oh, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. My first 2 web classes are like, oh, you don't need to learn HTML at all. Oh boy.
Ms. Delta said, "Be just for information, starting to learn Chinese has actually been fun and interesting. I practiced with some Chinese colleagues. They said, wow, you sound almost native. I joked I am from the South. We are vowel heavy like Mandarin. That is true. No final consonants pronounced." That is true. Good point. Good point. Hit up Mookie, because Mookie can give you a pretty good introduction of how to learn Asian languages. Okay, because he did it too. You know, he's a human though.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm going to comment on this. So
go ahead.
Like,
go ahead.
I went back and I saw my home university, which is University of Southern Illinois at Carbondale.
Okay.
And they were doing, CS department was doing CompTIA for the 4th year. And
Really?
I was dumbfounded. I was like, how could you do that? That is like, you're destroying the students. Whereas when I was going to school, my goodness, like 4th year was like advanced algorithms, advanced databases, like Java,
Right.
you know, like structures. It was
SQL
really
stuff, structured
hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was having to study and work hard, and I looked at that. I was like, 4th year, you're doing CompTIA? Like, are you trying to, like, I don't know, destroy their brains? I mean, what the heck is this? This isn't education.
They're trying to get them to graduate so they can have a degree.
The numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
They don't. Teachers don't want to do all that work, man. But the students are not prepared when they come in because they're not qualified to be in that. Everybody's not qualified to be a programmer. Okay. Everybody's not qualified to be in IT. And just because you sign up doesn't mean that you're qualified to do it. Just like everybody's not qualified to go into STEM. Okay. Yeah. If you haven't done your if you can't get past your 3 years of your 3 years of physics and calculus and stuff like that, you don't deserve to be in that. Okay. You have to learn that shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, why do I have to learn math to program? Motherfucker, it's called training your goddamn brain. Okay.
Prerequisites.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Shit.
Yeah, they would never have survived the 60s, 70s, and 80s in the college system. Because we had to actually study things like that.
You got to remember STEM. The last part of STEM, that M equals math. Okay, if you don't do the math, then you're not a STEM person. Okay, you can't algebra 2 and say that you're a STEM person. You're not. Go ahead.
See all these. You see all these problems.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Elijah. We got you. They got you. Are you there?
Did they get him?
I guess.
Oh,
All right. All right. Real quick, and then we'll go back and finish the video. All right. We got you. Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. You know who's the only guy on the internet that solved these college problems?
Who?
You.
Me. I did.
Yep. All this comes from feminizing the damn economy.
Oh yeah.
And they weakened it and watered it down. See, when we had a patriarchy, it was on top of everything.
Oh,
that's that word they don't like.
What was left of the patriarchy? Patriarchy actually died in the 19th century, but what's left of it?
Right.
Remnants of the patriarchy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, when the society was catered, to white men.
Yeah.
America was number one in math, number one in science, number one in technology, number one in manufacturing, number one across the board.
Yeah.
But all this feminine stuff America has dropped to 30th in math.
Yeah.
30th, 28th in science. And dropped in technology. Manufacturing's out. Now China's the Walmart of the world now.
Yeah, it is. They let them do it over 30 years ago because I saw them doing it. I said, why the fuck? Actually, they really wanted the rich people really wanted to leave America behind and go to China, but China screwed them. You can't take us over, which is what all this war started. Is because they want to actually transfer. They want to do what the Greeks and the Romans did in Rome when they left and went back to Byzantium. Right? They want to go east and transfer all the wealth and knowledge over there and leave you behind. Okay, that was the plan. Didn't work out.
Yep.
But the thing is, with it, that's how come they wanted to turn. And Mookie probably can tell you because he's old enough, right? Okay, in the 80s, they dumbed down everybody else and said that they only want the top 20% of students that should get a real education. Okay, and that's how come they came up with those tests. Okay, they're actually IQ tests. Okay, and I'm sure Mookie can tell you. Okay, when he took that first test, they gave him a different education than the other kids.
Yeah, it's a track system: high, low, and medium tracks.
High, low, and medium track.
I was high track. So my high school teachers were PhDs, right? And I had an entirely different curriculum than the rest of the high school, right? And I was the only black guy in the group in the classes. Everybody else was white and Asian. Yeah. And that was just kind of the way things were. I was like, okay, it looks kind of strange to me, but all right, I'll go with it.
Yeah. MS Delta says, wait a minute, in computer science education at college, that bad now. I took basic Fortran, C, and Perl in college, and I was not even a computer science major, but in STEM.
Yeah.
A lot of your scientific programming, if you're in science, say you like an engineer, had to learn how to program because a lot of your stuff was actually run on a computer. So a lot of your analysis was actually on a computer. So they had to teach you some kind of programming, right? They don't even teach it to computer science people anymore, which is a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
let me finish.
I was going to show this this book real quick. So this is like computational physics using C++, right?
Yep.
Well, this kind of book, this is what a form of this book I was using in high school back in the 80s. Right?
Yeah.
This was not a big thing. That was just, it's like second year physics.
Yeah.
Now this is barely taught at university level. Like this is something exceptional. Like this is like grad school.
Yeah, it's like grad school
what are
because
you talking about?
Because women don't understand that shit, and they had to dumb it down. They've dumbed it down for the females. Okay.
Yep.
So I can say I'm the most educated, and I'm the most, we're the smartest, most successful,
and can't tie their shoes.
Basically.
Can't do that either.
Anyway, let me finish playing this.
Are graduating without the competency to excel in an entry-level software engineering job. On top of that, a lot of their work is getting automated by AI. And then what he actually sees most commonly is people come to terms with the reality that being a software engineer is long 10-hour days, minimal human.
No shit.
No shit.
We can't get up and go for coffee breaks and tea and sit and chat with our coworkers. No.
Involvement fixing back-end code in some companies' security software.
Yeah.
If that's
No.
your jam, that's awesome.
Oh, you
Software
don't
engineering
want to
would be
look
a
at
great
the
goal
error
for you.
message.
But if that sounds like
Aw.
your worst nightmare, then it might be time to pivot. What's cool is sales is a great way to get that human involvement, but then still have a foundation in tech, which for a lot of people, that's why they were interested in software to begin with.
I've had to explain this to a lot of people, but an MD degree is useless without a residency spot. So people think that once you go to medical
See, in other words, she's talking about an MD degree, okay, which is like $300,000, okay, to get an MD degree.
school and get your MD degree, you're officially a doctor and can be a doctor, but you have to go to residency training. And residency training is where you get trained in a specialty of your choice. And sometimes it's not really your choice. So if you are applying to a competitive specialty and maybe don't get the good board scores or extracurriculars or research or things like that, you may not match into that specialty. And if you don't match into your specialty, then you're essentially unemployed and you only have a few choices. So you can either reapply the next year and take a year of unemployment doing other types of work, or you can look at a non-clinical jobs. I know some people who don't go to residency do consulting, work in pharmaceuticals, things like that that are non-clinical, but you cannot work as a doctor with an MD degree, which I think is shocking to a lot of people. So essentially, even if you get an MD degree, you are not classified as a doctor and you cannot work in clinical settings unless you go to residency. And some unfortunate people never match and never work as a doctor because of this.
I'm literally holding resumes, a stack of them, so that I can go in person to places and say, are you guys hiring? It's honestly a little bit embarrassing because I'm literally applying for like...
Are these mostly black women? No, they're not, right? You hear black women, white women complaining about they're the most educated to their men?
minimum wage jobs. This is not what I expected. I graduated college with 2 degrees in communications and acting. I speak 3 languages. Oh, this sucks. Like, I just want to be a TikToker if I'm being so for real with you.
If you think your degree alone is going to get you a job, you're fried in this job market. Unless you went to a top 20 school and did extremely well, then maybe you can submit an application and expect an email back. But even then, some kid who went to some no-name school, but his dad is a client at JP Morgan, is going to get 10 emails back from recruiters before your resume even gets past the automated system. I know it sucks. You're probably thinking, I'm putting in all this work. I'm getting good grades. I'm paying for college. I should be able to get a job, right? Wrong. You have to move different nowadays. Getting a referral isn't an option anymore.
I work in retail making basically minimum wage, and I have 2 bachelor's degrees. Everybody's like, why in the world?
I have 2 bachelor's degrees. I work in retail,
Don't
right?
sound like it, but okay.
But she's the most educated, right? No. But you never hear a Snow Bunny say that shit, okay?
Nope.
Asian women, even though Asian women are at the top of the list, they don't say that shit. Only black women.
Only
Work
one
retail.
group.
Everybody's trying to give me all of this life advice, telling me to go into healthcare, telling me to go into tech, yada, yada, yada. And everybody's like, why in the world do you have 2 degrees and you're not using them? What are your degrees? Like, what's the story there? This is the story of my 2 bachelor degrees that I have that I am currently not really using. I graduated high school in 2014. And when I was in high school, the high school I went to, like more than 80% of our graduating class went to a 4-year university afterwards. So it was very much pushed.
80%, huh?
To go to college after you graduated. Nobody in my family had ever gone to college before. I was the first one to even graduate high school. So it was like a big deal for me to go to college and I was super excited. I switched my major so many times, which is a big play in this. Junior year rolls around. I've taken all my gen ed classes and it's really time for me to figure out what my major is like actually going to be. And at that point, I had taken a lot of anthropology, history, and sociology classes because those were the classes that I just really enjoyed and had some professors that I really enjoyed. So I had already had a lot of credits towards those 3. So I decided to go with sociology as my major and I minored in history and anthropology. And I mainly decided that just because I wanted to graduate on time. Like at this point, if I chose a major that wasn't sociology, I was not going to graduate on time. And I was going to have to continue going to school for at least another year and take out even more loans. And I just wanted to be like done with school at this point. I loved the classes that I took and everything that I learned, but I knew the career path wasn't necessarily for me. But at this point, I just wanted to graduate. I graduated with a degree in sociology and I minored in anthropology and history. I didn't have the opportunity to do an internship or any sort of research while I was getting my degree. I had to work a paying job while I was in school and there were no like paid opportunities for me. So I wasn't able to get any
sort of experience in the field anyways. At that point, I had gotten a better retail job. I was making like double minimum wage in North Carolina. I was doing well, like my own apartment. I was living with my boyfriend. I had a decently paying job for North Carolina standards in retail. So I was doing like okay. So I was like, let me just take a break. Like I've been in school for a million years. Let me just take a break and chill for a sec and figure out what I want to do. 2020 hits and of course COVID happens. Everybody and the mother decided to go back to school. Most people went back and did their masters, but I didn't really want to get my master's in anything like sociology related. So as I was looking into it, I found the program through SNHU, and you can get your degree online. It's fully online. And they had a graphic design with a web development option, which I thought that would be really great. Web development, like everybody says to go into tech. So I thought that'd be a really great idea. I was able to transfer a lot of my gen ed credits from my first degree. So I was going to be able to complete my degree in about a year and a half. But I did. It took me about 2 years instead of a year and a half. So at the very end of 2022 is when I graduated with my bachelor's in graphic design and web development from SNHU. I did it fully online. Before I even graduated, I started doing some freelance work. So I think in January of 2023 is when I got my first like bigger freelance client. And so I was doing well with that. I was just going to do freelance. I was applying to like more corporate graphic design jobs, but I really wanted to.
She said her degrees were in anthropology and sociology. Okay. I know she's talking fast.
Go the freelance route. So that's what I did. And that's what I've been doing. For all of you that are curious, that is the story of my 2 degrees.
College isn't worth it anymore. In 2025, anything that involves that much money is not about the product or service. It's about using that product or service as a vehicle to maximize profit. The interest rate on student loans are predatory. You will be in debt for the rest of your life if you take out student loans. But what about the high-paying job you'll get when you graduate? When I graduated with a chemistry degree, I couldn't find anything. I didn't even get hired at the animal shelter I applied to. I eventually got hired at a candle factory making $12.
If you had a chemistry degree, you should have went into petroleum. Okay. If you had a chemistry degree, you had to take the hazardous jobs, which is petroleum or manufacturing. You didn't do that.
An hour. And my next job was at a spice factory making $15 an hour. That was in 2013. So it was more than what it is right now, but I was not living a comfortable life on that amount of money. So how do you actually get a good job that pays well? In 2025, companies don't care about whether you have a degree or not. They just want someone who can come in and do the job on day one. I know it's not fair, but that's how it is.
So at least I'm not the only one. And I'm sure that maybe some of you can relate as well. Let me know down below. But when I went to college, I got a bachelor's degree. I thought I was going to be able to use it in a lot of different fields. And I was in a way, but then my concentration that I got my degree in, I literally have never used that at all. And I went to school for 4 years. Actually, I think I went for like 3 years or 3.5 because I did it a little bit quicker. But I got my bachelor's degree and I really have not used it for much. And what people say is that employers, basically when they look at a degree, essentially for the most part, they want to know that they're hiring somebody that is going to be dedicated, is going to show up every single day, listen to instructions, follow what you're supposed to do, and work hard to please the teacher. So also it's going to translate into the workplace because they want you to show up, do the work for many years, and listen to instruction and make sure that you do what you're asked. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I do find that pretty ironic and pretty accurate because I think that is the case with a lot of degrees. And what's really sad is that a lot of people are going to school, spending.
Yeah, just starting a business is not the answer. Starting a business that people will buy from, okay? Starting a business is fine, but the thing is, what business, okay? 4 out of 5 businesses actually fail, okay? They actually fail.
Well, saying they teach you in business classes that 90% of businesses fail.
Yeah, they fail. The thing is, you gotta, do you have a valuable skill to actually give to the market? Okay, I'm lucky because I have boutique knowledge of a bunch of different things. Okay, that's why. None of this shit actually came from school. That school don't even teach the shit that I actually talk about. The thing is, starting a business is fine, but the thing is, just like what's his name? He said starting a business. That's fine. The thing is the business a valuable asset to the community? Like most people don't even call it business; they call it hustling, right? Picking up junk, okay? Moving people's stuff, okay? Doing plumbing, okay? Basically being a handyman, okay? That's a business. People don't actually call it a business license. Things. That's what you do, okay? Do you have the skills to actually go out and contribute to what people need? Okay, that's the biggest thing. What about the skills and the skills and abilities to actually enter the market? Okay, petroleum is icky. If you're a chemist, it's the first place you should go. Petroleum. If you can't find a job, I'm a chemist. I got a master's in chemistry. I want to get into petroleum. How do I do it? They'll sign you up. Chemistry is not an easy curriculum.
So much money and getting into all of these loans, and they spend so much time after graduating trying to pay these loans off. I mean, people pay off student loans for half of their lives. And then there is the student loan forgiveness that's been going on, but I mean, you can't bank on things like that. And typically if you take out a loan for something, you have to expect that you're going to be paying it back. I think a lot of jobs of the future are going to be simpler jobs that you don't even need to go to school necessarily for. Between learning online now and by also learning practical skills that you can do with your hands, you can do a lot of things in the future. And a lot of jobs are also going to be taken out by AI. So you have to be really specific with what you go to school for if you're going to get a degree nowadays. But let me know your thoughts down below. I'd be interested to know what you think. And if you have a degree that maybe you've never used or you know someone that this has happened to as well, please share below. And I hope you're doing well. I'll catch you in the next video.
A degree doesn't mean what it used to. Okay, it's no, especially when they started watering down the degree and start putting people that are baby mamas on welfare into the college system. Okay, and started watering it down. Your master's in chemistry should be able to get a job. Yeah, you should. Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to do, but master's in chemistry, the company should be recruiting you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Even if you got a C major, it doesn't matter.
I mean, there's jobs they offered her she didn't want to take.
Yeah. Yeah. Without a doubt. And when I was in university, there was no watering down for us. Nothing. It was merciless.
Yeah.
They did not care.
Yeah, if you got a chemistry degree, you go to Dubai, not Dubai, but go to the Arabian Gulf. Okay, they got plenty of room for chemists. Okay.
BTS, that's what I was going to say. It's probably going to be she has to work somewhere where it might be dirty. She
Yes.
might have to travel. She might, like I say, it might be dangerous. Maybe she's going to work on a rig out in the ocean. They want those easy, clean jobs.
In other words, it's going to be masculine.
It is masculine. Yeah.
And around a bunch of men, a bunch of sweaty, men. That's not fulfilling to them.
Most chemists, if you're gonna make money, you got to be an industrial chemist. Okay, where you're actually making processes. Okay. Other than that, you're not gonna make any money. And most chemists. I mean, back when I was young, a chemist with a now didn't have to have a bachelor's, just a mediocre. What is it? What do they call that? The intermediate degree, associates. Okay, could have started working for a chemical plant, for a petroleum plant. Okay, right out of community college. Okay.
Yep.
So chemists, you can work all over the world. The thing is, you're probably going to be doing jobs that you don't like.
Yep.
Hey, but BGS, I mean, these girls are so smart that they plan to take themselves to Thailand, where white women say they can't get no man. They're gonna take they're gonna leave Chicago, Atlanta, California, and go to Thailand and find an American man over there.
That if a man told me, a black man told me he's gonna go to Thailand or Brazil or Japan to find a black woman, I would say he's insane.
Yeah. To find a hood chick.
To find a hood chick, you're insane. Okay.
I mean,
black women,
good-looking white women go to Thailand and live in Thailand and say they have to leave because they cannot find a man.
Because you don't go to Thailand looking for a white woman. It makes no sense. Okay.
Yeah.
And they can't speak the language, so they can't speak to the locals. So they have to find an American man because they're not over there trying to learn the language. They're just over there being Americans.
Basically, to go, if you want a decent white woman, you go to Eastern Europe or Russia or Russia, right? To get a decent white woman, you do not go to Thailand looking for a white woman.
Right.
Makes no sense. Okay. Why would a white woman go to Thailand? Okay, and be wanted?
Who goes to a Chinese restaurant looking for steak?
Yeah.
You kind of have to know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I say is, why go to a sushi bar looking for a Big Mac?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
exactly
because she's a black woman. I want a Big Mac.
No,
I don't eat sushi. Okay.
No, BGS, because she's the most educated.
Gosh, that's why that's why I played it, right? You got people with doctorates that cannot find a fucking job. Okay, what does it mean that you're the so-called most educated, right? And also, anyone with a master's degree can at least teach in community college.
Right.
That is true. What's up, gentlemen?
What's up, Sean?
But there are a lot of people with master's degrees. That's the problem. So the competition to teach at community college is high.
It's flooded. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
My wife went through it when she was at Indiana State. She was at Indiana State when we met, and she knew a lot of people that had their masters, but were barely teaching at community colleges. So she consulted them for a bit, and she says, "What if it's the area that you're in?" No, it's flood and id.
Yeah, the thing is, because I talked to, because like I said, it's interesting talking to professors, right? They have to sit on boards to actually hire other teachers, right? And see what they hire for. They have to have boutique knowledge. Is there a reason for them to actually hire you? Okay. Is there something outside of the curriculum that you know to actually bring to their college? Okay.
Yep.
Every time they got hired is because they knew something or experienced something that wasn't normal.
A specialized niche.
Specialized niche.
Everything especially now, and you can liken it to baseball, how they have starters to open the first couple of innings, and then you bring in somebody from the bullpen, which is happening in the playoffs. Her specialty is sex education.
Yeah,
she's been doing that for years. That's been her specialty because she has spoken about it. She's spoken about HIV. She's spoken about sex education. She's run businesses on that before. She's run a homeless shelter.
Yeah,
all that's rampant.
Yeah,
where all that is rampant. So she does have a niche and a specialty.
Yes,
you know.
Yeah, that's what they will hire you for. Okay,
exactly. It's the specialty age now. Are you? In my industry, I've been a sports talk host. I've been a play-by-play announcer, and a digital creator. But even now, that has been niched down even more. Can you do this one particular thing?
Yeah.
Right. Can you do? And if you can't do this one particular thing, we're not going to look at you.
Yeah.
We're looking for blah 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 da da da.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's how we helped Dr. T get his full professorship. Right? Is because they kept denying him. But the thing is, because of YouTube, because of management, we took him outside of what his normal curriculum was, right? Then he brought. I got 50,000 followers. I wrote a couple of books. I got all these blogs. I got all these political agenda, blah blah blah, a whole list of things, right? Gave him to him like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm learning about. That's what I'm learning about being a niche, because now, with me following the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark and no Caitlin Clark, the numbers are up.
The numbers are up. Yeah,
I get at least 2 or 3 subscribers every time I'm on.
Yes,
which is weird for me, because the first time that's happened to me is when I started following the 49ers.
Yeah,
2 years ago, the year they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that's when the numbers jumped up then. But now with the Indiana Fever and all the bullshit that's surrounding the W,
yeah. I mean,
you owe you and my wife for that. What a call!
Yeah. Well, you have people. Yeah, what's his name? Colin Cowherd, right?
Yes.
He normally takes a vacation during the WNBA. He can't take it right now because she's hot.
You can. She's been hot news since her days at Iowa, since her junior year at Iowa. When
she was warming up, but when she hit the WNBA with all that controversy,
the warm up was when she lost to Angel Reese in the national championship, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
that was the warm up. Then the lukewarm was when she went back to the national championship and lost to South Carolina.
Right.
Now she's hot. She's been the hot stove, to use a baseball term, since she's come into the league.
Yeah. Hey, the best thing that happened to the Fever this year is they put DeWanna Bonner on waivers. Okay.
Yes, and that has sparked them, because if you look at their body language last night, even without Caitlin Clark in the lineup, they were jumping up and down, excited for every bucket that was made.
And you can see, what's her name? Turner, is that her name? Natasha. What's
Howard.
Her name? Howard, right?
Natasha
She's
Howard.
smiling now.
Yes. Absolutely. And
She
you
was
made that point last night in a brilliant.
So in other words, the problem in the locker room's out now, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. What'd you say last night, BGS? No DeWanna Bonner, no drama.
No, yeah, exactly. That's what happened. As soon as they put her on waivers, okay. Number one,
was that.
Stephanie White. Was her name Stephanie White?
Stephanie White's the coach. Yes.
Yeah. She stopped. She got off that bullshit. Okay. Because she trying to cater to DeWanna Bonner's feelings and stuff like that. Okay. Once she was gone, guess what? Now I got a coach. Okay.
Yep.
And that's how do I want to follow her out into the wilderness just like everybody else? I have to start playing.
And whoever, and you're right, Donnie Mac, winning the Commissioner's Cup helped also. And here's something I was going to do a game tonight, but I'm going to do a couple standalones and release them tomorrow. ESPN had a major fuck up because they printed a headline that said Lynx run over fever or something to that nature.
Okay.
Lynx blitz fever to win the Commissioner's Cup. That was out for about an hour before tip off. Then when the Fever turned it around and beat their asses, the line was Fever stun Lynx. What? After the ass whooping they just gave them in their house?
Yeah, they were embarrassed. They're embarrassed.
The lowest point twice in 2 games. They gave 2 of the top teams in the NBA their lowest point total in a half.
Yeah,
and in a season.
Yeah.
Yep. I've noticed that.
Yeah, Becky Hammond was actually very upset because she said we sucked. Okay.
Can you blame her for a team that was averaging 84 points per game? Yeah, I put a message in the chat. Jody's not feeling well, so can y'all give a 1 for me so we can cheer her up? And I know how to cheer her up. We'll do that in a minute. But they are playing defense now. They allowed Asia Wilson to score 30, but they kept everybody else in check.
Look at what happened. Okay. During the Commissioner's Cup, right? Okay. Look at Natasha Howard's body language, right? Okay.
It's totally changed.
Totally changed. She's part of the group now.
She's part of the team. She's been
part of the team. They reeled her in, just like Caitlin Clark had to do with Aaliyah Boston and okay. They bought in. Okay, once they bought in, they started playing better.
And they had to buy in, especially when Stephanie White arrived. They had to buy in.
Yeah, I think
it was a slow buy-in with some of the games that they played.
I think Stephanie White had to buy in too.
Yeah, she had to.
Because
she wanted to run one system and it wasn't working, but now she flipped it, has gotten him to play defense. And as I said, Minnesota 59 points, their lowest point total of the season, and then 54 for Las Vegas.
She did 2 things, right? Okay, she stopped trying to make her 2 people that she brought into focus, right? Which is Bonner and Howard, right?
Howard.
Even without Caitlin Clark, guess who she made the focus? Aaliyah Boston, right? And they've taken Aaliyah Boston's physical style on as a personality.
And now their feet and last night they fed her the ball mercilessly.
Yeah.
Didn't matter if she got fouled or she missed a shot or anything. They rode Aaliyah Boston for 40 full minutes.
What she did to Asia Wilson was pathetic, man. She
did to Asia Wilson was criminal.
She was criminal. What she was bumping around Asia Wilson could not say shit because that's what she does. Okay?
Every time, there were 2 buckets in the third quarter where Asia Wilson got excited because she made a bucket and they got her team back to within 13 points.
Yeah.
Stephanie White calls a timeout, says feed the beast. And Aaliyah Boston kicked her ass.
Yeah, she intimidated her. And I've never seen that with Asia Wilson. Anyway, y'all jump in, okay? Hey, tell Jody, okay, no DeWanna Bonner.
Hey, beat you to it.
Watch
she
your laugh.
Knows.
Watch your laugh.
Listen, beat you to it. I told her that, and she says, "No more drama," and walked the fuck off. She's heard me call the games and has heard my audio language match their body language. And when I came into the room one night after a game, where they lost, and I talked extensively about DeWanna Bonner. She started rubbing my shoulders, and the first thing she said in my ear was, "DeWanna's got to go."
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, Stephanie White was holding on to her, and once they made a decision to waive her and let her go, all of a sudden the whole situation
all
changed.
hell broke loose, and the Sparks tomorrow are about to get their ass kicked.
Yeah, because there's no way you can be up 10, 15 points in the WNBA and lose 3 times in a row. Okay, doesn't work. That means the coach is on some bullshit, which she was.
Yep.
Yeah. She finally got off that bullshit. Anyway,
you know what the fun part is? The fun part is not only seeing this transformation and being able to call the games when they are going through this transformation. It's like we all saw this coming.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark or no Caitlin Clark, if you don't have CC on the floor, you feed the beast. You feed Aaliyah Boston.
Yeah. Because I saw Aaliyah Boston on the off season working on the same moves. Okay. Every day. Them same moves she's using right now. She was in the gym working on those every day. Okay. See, gotta remember with a groin injury for a basketball player.
Yep.
It's very serious. Okay.
It is.
Jerry West retired because he had couldn't solve his groin injuries. Okay. Because you have to affect your jump shot, affects your defense, especially on defense.
It affects everything. It affects everything. It affects your motion.
Because your core legs are centered around the groin, right? Okay.
That's what I'm dealing with right now, and getting out of the wheelchair, getting off of a chair, period, and stretching my legs back out.
Yeah.
And just doing simple. Jody's got me doing simple stretches now.
A groin. There's 2 things you don't want to have: a serious groin injury and an Achilles injury, right?
Achilles.
Those are killers, okay?
Yes.
Because you have to slide your feet on offense and defense, right? Okay.
Yep. You got to be lateral. You
got to be lateral.
In basketball, you got to be very.
Well,
very
you got
lateral.
with the groin, you have to open up.
Yes.
You have to drop down. You have to drop down and open up on shooting and on defense.
You got to slide.
You got to squat. You got to squat. You got to stoop. You got to come, and you got to get back up, and you got to do all that in a hurry.
That's all groin.
When I was a kid, man, going back after the summer and playing basketball, right, the first thing hurts is your groin.
Yes, it does.
You got to stretch it out until it gets stretched out. Okay. So
Yeah, that's
groin
what
injury
I've
is
been
very
doing.
serious. Okay.
That's what I've been doing the last few weeks. Is like
you got to stretch it out. Yeah.
Really doing like basic stretches, like left arm forward, right leg backward, and holding that, and then my squats that I do. Now I'm doing that like twice a day now, but that's a serious injury, you know.
Your groin controls your whole leg.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I am not a basketball fan, but has the WNBA become more popular because men are paying attention to it? That's a twofold answer. One, basically, your answer is yes for that part, but the other part is it's all the drama.
And guess who loves drama in clothes?
Women love drama.
Women. And guess what they were lacking in WNBA? Female fans.
Female fans.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of female fans, I know a group in Chicago that's very pissed off that a certain Me-Bound queen didn't get voted to the All-Star game. And my inbox was flooded.
She got
pissed off. A pissed off gynocracy came after me. Why is it Angel Reese in the All-Star game?
Because she sucks.
I just had a simple answer. I was like, "Did you see her play?"
Yeah, you got 2 rookies in Washington that are better than her.
Yep, one of them.
Irfan and what's her name? Yes,
Centron.
Centron.
And Centron better than her. Hey, Centron is fantastic.
I saw that first during the preseason. That's okay. She's gonna be a beast. And the other black girl, Irfan, they're beasts. Okay.
Oh, Irfan is no one to play with.
Yes, they're better. They're both better than her. Yeah.
Irfan's the rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Hey, Snowman, what is that?
What's the name? Chiffron's got something to say about that. Centron has something to say about that.
Centron.
And Buckner, as long as Buckner stays in her pocket, okay, she might even get it. Beckers, yeah.
Beckers. Okay.
Yeah, she stays in her pocket. She's a mid-range jump shooter, okay?
Yeah.
She's not a deep shooter. You get her the ball in her pocket, she'll hit it, okay?
Mm-hmm. all the time.
All the time. Okay. I don't know why they don't run.
And you know what else? You know what else changed?
What?
That I saw last night. The refs were trying to stick calls against Indiana to try to give Vegas an advantage.
Yeah.
Didn't work. Vegas never led in that game.
They were too far ahead. And I think the Vegas girls quit.
Yep, they did.
Third quarter, they quit.
They absolutely quit. Asia Wilson, to her credit, played all the way through. She played all 40 minutes, but no one, when they got down by 20 at halftime, they quit.
They quit, yeah. And that's what Becky Hammond was saying, right? They made that push to 13, and then when it went back up, they quit. That's why she took them out.
They waved the white flag by the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, pretty much.
They waved the white flag by the end of the third quarter. Go ahead.
What?
I think Central, I think she's part either Canadian or French or something. She got that funny look to her.
And she's a Midwest girl by her roots at Notre Dame.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I think she got French in her because that's where the name comes from.
Technitron says, how many games do they play in the season in WNBA this year?
44. Yeah.
They put 4 more games on the season, and there's one reason and one reason only.
Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah,
she wears number 22.
Yeah. That's how come they won't take her out completely. They need to put her name out there. Oh, she may play, she may not. Okay.
Yep. They got to keep her. They got to keep her in the news because that's what's driving up ticket sales. That's what's driving up merchandise sales. That's what's driving up everything.
Because you say she's out like a couple days before, they won't show up.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway. Anyhow, yeah. Anything else y'all want to get into? Because we got maybe another 40 minutes, and I got to go.
I got a bone to pick with you.
Yes, sir.
Did you see my text message or not?
I did.
Okay.
I did. But I'm asleep at that time of morning.
Oh. I forgot you're 3 hours behind me, and I thought about that, and I'm like, man, I gotta do something quick, and then I didn't think about it, but you know who did when she tapped me on the shoulder and she says, "You dumbass, he's in California." Like,
yep, 3 hours behind.
I didn't. I am sorry, sir.
Right,
I didn't even think about it. It's like I'm sending him this shit at 2 p.m. Then a little bell hits me, like, dude, it's 11 a.m.
Whenever I get a email for Patreon, usually after that around 5:30, I'm like, okay, that's 8:30 for me.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll always keep that in mind when I see.
From being in all the zones, I've lived in all the zones.
Mm-hmm.
It's a clusterfuck. I don't remember what zone I'm in sometimes.
Yeah.
Even when I drive to Chicago and I'm only an hour off.
All right, y'all up here. Y'all want to jump in? Jump in. Okay. I'm not gonna be here forever.
Okay.
The wife is doing very good in English, and it's kind of going to mess me up with certain things.
How so?
Because now all the little jokes I used to be able to say around her, I can't say anymore.
Okay.
And it's nah, it's good. It's good.
And now she's gonna say, "I heard that."
What you just say, Roy? What did you say?
What did you say? Yeah, no, does it? What'd you just say? What'd you say to me?
Or they just
break down the movie
or she'll just look at them and say 2 words. Say what?
No, she ain't learned that one yet. She ain't got that far.
She's breaking the movie down right now with the English subtitles.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my God! I need to find a niche thing for my business. Oh no, I've found several niches. So
you got a lot. You have a lot of niches, man. You just which one do you actually want to exploit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same here.
I'm done quite a few.
You could make if you didn't have a son, you probably can make way more money.
Of course, I would.
Mm-hmm. You probably wouldn't be in this country if you make more money.
Definitely wouldn't be in this country.
Because a lot of dogs of war like you they're making 200K back in the 90s. Okay.
Yeah.
I tell most motherfuckers when they see, I don't even give people credentials. I give them my damn resume, and I say, look, And the first thing they'll tell me is, we can't really afford you, but this is the best we could do.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm listening earlier when people talk about, well, we got to fight this. Shut the entire fuck up.
I understand it. You know, that's emotional talk.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get mad. Okay, get mad at you. Okay. We can get you training real quick. Okay, send you to Israel or send you to Ukraine. You get trained within 6 months. You know what you're doing. Okay.
Exactly.
A different appreciation about war. If you survive, okay.
Yeah, big
if
if.
you survive.
And one thing I saw this 4th of July, the last 4th of July, a whole bunch of double flags. There was like a bunch of Mexican and American flags. Now all I see is American flags.
Yeah, because they're going to deport your ass for flying the Mexican flag.
That's all. That's it, and that's all.
That's what.
Yeah, all those new flags, they are disappearing. Oh,
that's why you have to watch. You have to. A lot of stuff that Donald Trump sounds dumb on the surface. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, the stupid shit that he said. Donald Trump is so dumb. He does dumb things until you see the reaction to it. Okay. There's always a means to an end.
My big beautiful bill.
Which the thing is, it can't pass without Congress. Okay, it's not just him.
Congress has got to vote on it.
Yeah,
and they're the ones that got to pass it.
What a lot of Republicans are doing, a lot of even conservatives are doing, they're actually hiding behind Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Blame it on him.
Yeah, Democrats are too, because they could have done a whole bunch of stuff to hold the bill up, but they didn't do it. So whatever.
No, because they agree with it. Okay, they agree with it. I mean, there's so much in that bill, man. I don't even want to get into what's in it and all the little niggling things that's in it.
Don't blame you.
Trump is taking away medical care from women and children with Medicaid. Oh my God!
Well, what did I tell you guys before you even took office? Right? They're only way to reduce the budget is Medicare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Medicare, Medicaid. Yeah. Yep.
Well, we said fuck them kids. We meant that's all.
What? It's not even about kids. Okay, the kids will always get taken care of. Okay, Congress will make sure of that. The thing is, how would the stipulations in that bill affect you on the ground? Nobody knows until you actually put it on the ground. Nobody knows. Okay.
Yeah.
And the thing is, will Congress take the money out of the pharmaceuticals pockets?
Right.
Yeah.
That's where the real money is. But do they have the nerve enough to actually do that? We'll see.
We will see. Before quick update: Caitlin Clark out for tomorrow afternoon against the Sparks.
I
figured they're going to hold her until after the All-Star break.
Okay.
I think she'll probably make an appearance in the All-Star game. That's probably what they're saving her for.
Yeah, they're saving her for the All-Star game so she can make a quick appearance and then get a couple days rest and then get back to it.
The thing is, we don't know how serious the groin injury is, and they won't tell us. It's because they need her to make money.
They won't. That's the cash cow.
I'm
the
NBA scout, trainer, and agent, and the groin injury. I've been in 4 professional sports. My first injury was soccer at 12 years old. I pulled my groin. A groin injury is just like a calf injury. You have to sit out at least a minimum of 30 days. Groin, calf, and hamstring, all the same treatment. It's a 30-day minimum. Because they're very tender. Those are very tender areas. Very delicate. Thank you. Delicate areas of the body, just like the Pacers across the street from the Fever found out the hard way with Halliburton.
Yes,
you can't go out there taped up. You can't tape up a calf. You have to. It's a mandatory 30 days. 30 days in jail, mandatory. Sit your ass down. And they found out the hard way.
On the biggest stage in the biggest game.
Exactly.
It's costing a year.
Well, it might cost more than that, depending on how he comes back.
Same with Jason Tatum.
Yep.
Same with Jason Tatum. Let me get on out. Let me get on out of here. Thanks for having me up, BGS. I appreciate you, and I appreciate y'all, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
All right. The worst injury you can get in basketball is probably groin. Okay, outside of a ACL. I mean, not ACL, but
Achilles.
Achilles, yeah.
And Kevin Durant went through the same thing like 4 years ago, and they never learned. KD thought he could go out there with a partially torn calf, and it tore. He went out there and he tore up his Achilles.
Well, his Achilles, yeah. You got to overcompensate, yeah.
Right.
Yep. That's when she had a groin. When she had a groin, I think she had it before that. I think when she got knocked over by what's her name, aggravated her groin because she hadn't been the same.
Right.
And they had to put her out there because she's a draw, right? She couldn't play.
Drawing card.
I said I said I've never seen her miss that bad. I said something wrong with her.
Yeah, she's like 0 for 22.
Yeah, something wrong with her. But the thing is, they had to put her out there.
Right.
They find out it's her groin. So now it makes sense. She's injured.
Yep.
Usually, in most cases for women, a stretch groin is a good thing, but it's many injuries you don't want to touch.
I mean, if you basically, okay, if you want to know about where Trump's economic policy, you got to watch Bessent really closely. Okay, he's the architect of it.
I'm telling them that they're not going to do it.
I know. I mean, that I don't know where he gets all these dudes on the spectrum because Bessent is on the spectrum. Okay, and Bessent is this being a sociopath. Okay,
most smart people on the spectrum.
Well, shoot, BG, you gave the best answer. Who's that white guy you kept playing?
I don't know.
Which one?
The one talking about how America's has dropped to the bottom of the ladder internationally. He does it in front of Congress. The white guy.
Oh God. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, you play him over and over and over again.
You're talking about Schweikert?
Yeah.
Okay, the congressman, yeah.
They're all coming from that. See, like you said, Trump is cleaning up after the party.
He's cleaning up. Basically, this has been a long time coming, right? Okay,
right.
We're saying Trump is the only one that with guts enough to actually try something. It might not work, but he's trying something. Okay,
right.
You know, he's not a usual suspect.
And Biden, basically, Michael Hudson is one to set up your post Bretton Woods economy, right? In 71, he actually wrote the plan, right? He's telling you that basically what happened is basically Biden basically killed that for the most part, right? Because the dollar is a very delicate thing. We send out dollars and we send out IOUs and get something back for it, right? The world went with it for the past 50 years or 60 years, right? Okay. Biden, by fucking with the money, playing with the money, screwed that. Now the BRICS are actually involved in having an alternative. That's the problem. And so basically, all the good times are over, okay? For the most part. That's what I'm telling Blackwood. So Blackwood is saying, Black men, we need you. No, you don't. Because you shit on us when you're up. Okay? No, you don't.
Yep.
That's it, Charlie Murphy. I'm just like this. I feel nothing. That's why if I get any callbacks, I feel nothing. We should get to know each other. Sure.
the reachbacks are vicious, man. Now, okay.
When naval officers hit you up.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, BGS, I need some guys to pick up my slack because I just went to this Latin girl, and I need some other guys to pick up these women. They're bothering.
He right there, okay. Eric Ormunger is right there, okay.
Picking up shit.
Yeah, he needs to take about 3 or 4 off the market so he can,
So I can be stressed the fuck out. I just got out the damn hospital.
Eating some bad candy. Okay, I noticed where you got it from.
No, not really. We don't know where the fuck it came from because it's a sinus combination blast.
Stray hoes, undocumented hoes.
Undocumented. No, I don't even think I fuck with undocumented hoes. I forgot what they said. It was like something in the fucking air.
Okay, all right.
System, so it wasn't hoes.
He needs one of these Latin women to make him some a chicken soup.
Now you know how know how your hoes feel with them bladder infections. Okay?
Oh, fuck them. Okay, how they feel. Like here's the problem is that a lot of people are used to my more jovial side. They're not used to the fuck you side. So lately, a lot of fuck yous like you hang up on me, I'm not calling you back. You might get used to them other niggas. 2 weeks later, and you know the coldest line you can ever get to a bitch who hangs up on you. Yeah, who's this? Like, what you mean? Who's this? Yeah, I was like, oh, who's this? No, seriously, who's this? You race. I'm gonna fuck a Thanos snap. I'm gonna use the Omega beams.
If she don't have no equity built into me and hang up on me, okay, I don't even ask go who's this. I hear the voice click.
No equity. What's crazy is that a lot of bitches be playing the outfit. I swear to God, man. If life was a sport, black women would be the ultimate loser, man. And it shows. Like, God damn, how do you suck this badly?
Because they were allowed to. Russ Begay, it's okay. Mr. Z should have finished that marathon like 3 hours ago when I left. So I'm getting ready to get off and hang out with Miss Z. Okay, 3 hours later, he's still on. Okay.
I'm actually shocked at a ball. That's why sometimes I can listen to Z and sometimes I can't. Like y'all, I mean, like y'all black men.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really thinking y'all get this manosphere for two things. The 20% that really want answers and the other 80% that just want to say, ooh, women, but you're going to go back kissing the ass.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, I can't listen to all that for that damn long to talk about stupid bitches. I mean, like, it's like sauerkraut. If I don't like sauerkraut, I stay the fuck away from it.
That's how come he can do it. I can't do it. I tell him, Z, I can't do that. Okay, I can't listen to these people. All right, you guys, I got about 10 more minutes and I got to go.
Okay.
Let me start cooking because I'm gonna go downtown after fireworks and chill my black ass out.
I'll put it in the chat.
You put it in the chat one time, but I didn't pick it up.
Okay, I'll put it in the back chat for you then.
All right, thank you.
Can you hear me, BGF?
I can hear you.
Oh no, I'm about to get out there and start cooking me a little bit of food to take with me downtown.
The first time I saw you, we asked you barbecuing in the wintertime at that.
Oh yeah, it's
cold outside, nigga. What you out there doing barbecuing?
Yes, I'm just like, hey, might as well. Shit, barbecue food tastes great in the winter.
Yeah, that's it. And at first I said, nigga, is that you or the wall?
That's me.
It's your big ass. What is that, motherfucker? Is that you or the goddamn wall?
There's density. It's like what Gay Bay said. Oh, you don't have a neck. I said, you're an idiot. That's a term of endearment to a wrestler.
What is
wrong with
him? What is wrong with him?
I mean, I call him Captain Veneers because, like, he tried to say, "Well, you didn't raise your son." I'm like, dude, it's historical. You can look at how many times Pete I've been around when I'm alive.
Yeah. You took him away from his mother. What is she talking about?
I'm like, Gabe, you got your crying ass kids in the background. Don't tell me about being a father. I said, number two, you were your fucking wife's 10th choice. I mean,
probably so.
I mean, his wife was passed around like a blunt.
I mean, whether it was or not, the thing is, okay, the thing is, it's one thing. If somebody tells me they don't like me, I'm not on their channel anymore. Why are you still hanging around me?
And then he's around the May. I mean, this is why I say he's weird and socially awkward. You don't know where to quit because you really think that you're funny. You think you're the smartest motherfucker. I said, just like I told him. I said when I was like when May was like, y'all talking about what's that white girl named Pearl?
Pearl, yeah.
Y'all talking about Pearl, and I put it in the chat. Pearl's a tool, and he was like, you're you're a tool. I'm like, Gabe, you're a nobody. If I'm a nobody, what does that make you? Greater than you, nigga. What the fuck else?
I don't get him, man. Go away. Anyway, y'all closing thoughts? Get out of here.
He's one of those guys who suffer from PTSD from swirlies.
I guess so, man.
He's like I'm still here. Like, dude, I'm glad you got your job. Take care of your kids. See, a real father would do this. If I got young kids, I'm gonna really, really not be online unless they're asleep. If I can't put them to sleep, you're not gonna hear them online. Oh, what's that? You're Johnny come lately with kids. Somebody was so desperate in the universe to allow your ugly ass to reproduce, Captain Veneers.
I mean, a dude with a job can always find a woman. So, it's not that big a deal, especially in Black America. It's not that hard.
Oh yeah.
Now, the quality of woman is going to vary, but thing is, he's probably went back home and found a wife. Okay, from Nigeria, probably so. Anyway, anything else on the runner before we go?
Oh, he's a Nigerian. Oh, no wonder.
Yeah.
No wonder he's so awkward.
Yeah.
Ashy foot sandal wearing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an ashy bloke from Nigeria. Yep.
Oh, I think I'm better than you because I got a country. Then why you here, bitch?
Yeah, why you here? Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
But anyway, enjoy the 4th. Happy Independence Day.
I gotta go find out what the fuck my grandson's fucking with me about, right? So I'll see y'all later.
You're gonna get your tapping too. He wants you to help him with his dance.
Nah, he want money when he fucking with me like that. He want money. Well, you know how it is. Yeah, all right.
You only call me when you need something.
Exactly. All right.
What can I say? Mamba out.